Hello friends, I hope you're well. No need to adjust your sets. The lighting is pretty bad. That's okay. I'm not going to be showing off any cards tonight. It's not that I don't have them to show, I do have them to show, but to be honest with you, I'm not sure I feel like showing them. And it's just, I haven't made an episode in a while, and again, it's not from lack of cards to show. I do have some nice cards that have come in since the last time we spoke, but I just don't have any desire to push record. It's just the way things are, and I have a few topics here on the side that I just want to go over because it's my channel and I feel like talking about them. Trying to think of which way to start. I have 5 things here. I'll probably cover them all. The first one I kind of touched on is, if you don't have anything to say, there's no need to make a video. Don't make video or content just for the sake of doing so. You're not going to get internet famous. A lot of people just simply don't care. But if you're continually forcing and pushing out, stop it. We could do that back in the day during the pandemic, 5 years ago, when there was nothing else to do and everyone was stuck inside and we were all sharing somewhat new stuff pretty much almost, if not daily, every other day. But again, we're getting near 2026 now, so really no need. So if you don't have anything to say, stay quiet. That's, I don't know if it's my motto, but, don't just be pushing out content for the sake of doing so. Now, if you have something important to say, fantastic, please do. Let's see. I've had this channel, I guess this is a little bit personal, but I'll go ahead and share it because it is kind of relating to it. But this channel's been monetized for 5-6 years now, and not once. I've never set up the AdSense. I've never made a red cent from this channel. I don't intend to. I do this as a hobby. I love the hobby. I give my all to the hobby. So don't feel the need to make, 30 cents a month from this channel. So again, that kind of tied in, the rerun topics. Like, noticed it's kind of slowed down recently, but for a while there this year, a lot of people, the same content creators, were making the same topics over and over and over again. No need. There were some creatives that would have 3 or 4 topics and they would do one video a week on those 3 or 4 topics for a month. Just regurgitating the same thing over and over again. No need. Speaking of commenters, I've got it up, LARP commenters. As I'm watching videos, and I'm not necessarily commenting, but I'm reading the comments on a lot of the videos as I'm watching the videos, and I see a lot of comments from what I call LARP. If you're old like me, you might not know what LARP means, but live action role play, kind of like the background characters if you're playing a video game. So you've got these LARP commenters who go on and on and on. Your topic sucks, your collection sucks, you're a piece of shit, on and on and on. And then, shock to no one, you click their little name. This channel has no content. Complete shock, I know. So you've got the keyboard warriors just talking out of their butts. But again, I guess that's just part of it. But it just seems to be... It's annoying. It is what it is. I know friends that get bothered by it. I know friends that don't care. And some of them say, hey, all interaction is good interaction. I suppose that's true to an extent. So let's see. I covered that. I guess the last topic I want to cover here is the vintage versus modern thing. And it's kind of died down, and it kind of bubbles up every once in a while, and you know, you can look at it a few different ways. You collect long enough, you go all over the spectrum. There are a lot of people in the hobby today that don't care about old people they never saw play, the long dead players. They don't care. And anyone ponding, oh, vintage is king, vintage doesn't go down, vintage is safe, vintage is this. That's not reassuring to someone who's not interested in vintage. If all they're seeing and reading are these old heads that are just, I guess, gatekeeping, like, oh, vintage is the best. Why would you buy an Otani card? He could die tomorrow and the card will be worthless. When you could buy, you know, Babe Ruth or Mantle or anybody. And I guess this what I'm about to say applies more to the vintage, post-war vintage stuff, because pre-war vintage stuff is insane, and it's not mainstream. It's, you know, oh, look, there's 5 of these in the world. Whoopee. That's great and all, and I'm glad you have it and you're happy to own it, and I'm proud for you. But that's not going to move the needle for anyone who's approaching it from today's players. You know, we get this us versus them or them versus us thing, and you know, I collect both, but vintage, I have pretty much everything I want to own at this point. I'm fortunate in that regard, but it's not, I don't want to say it's not a challenge. I'm trying to think of the nice way to say it, but vintage is not rare, it's just costly. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, some moo milk Mickey Mantle food issue from 1956 that your grandmother had to get a milk delivery subscription to get this card. That's neither here nor there. That's rare, and it's not that it's not really a card, but it's an oddball issue. It's regional, I guess, not necessarily oddball, but regional, and it's to be respected, but it's not. Again, at least I'm speaking, as always, I'm only speaking for myself, but this doesn't do it for me. 52 manos, yeah, does it for me. Again, I guess it's being a certain age, but, and again, the 52 Mano is not rare, it's just costly. And that goes for pretty much outside of the, you know, rare error cards from the Topps era, from 52 to now. Any Topps card from 52 till, from 1952, because 51 are not cards, they're playing cards, they don't count. The game cards, I guess, technically. So from 52 until, I would say, well, definitely to 2002. Because in 2002, if you wanted, let's pick Jeter, for argument's sake. If you wanted a Jeter 2002 Topps card, you wanted all of them, you would get not including plates, because you could argue about that being cards as well, because they're made out of metal. So you'd have 2002, you'd have his base card and his gold card, and that was the rainbow in 2002. Now in 2003, they added the blacks. So you have the base card, the gold, and the blacks. And that continued until 2009. Because in 2009, you had the base card, the gold card, and the blacks. In 2010 is when it really got interesting, with adding, the factory set, parallel, the different, they started adding more colors. And that's where the vintage people, manufactured scarcity, that everyone likes to say. Manufactured scarcity. It's not really scarce, it's just made to be scarce, so then it's not really scarce. Well, we're coming up on 4 years now for me looking for a 2011 Topps Black Pujols. Coming up on 4 years. Looking almost every day for it on eBay, having other people look at shows, having other people look at other places on the internet. I have not seen, and it's not like, there's one on eBay for $700 or some stupid $1,000 or some stupid asking price. It's not that. It's just not there. You could get into the reasons why it's not there, and I've done that before here on the channel, but don't tell me about, it's just manufactured scarcity. Well, I can't find the freaking card. 4 years I've been looking for this card. Any other Topps card from 2009 and earlier wouldn't take me 4 years to find. Maybe pay for it, not find. You can find a Mantle. You go on eBay right now and buy a 52 Mantle. There's no 53, 54, any of those guys. You can't buy a 54 Mantle Topps because it doesn't exist, but you know what I'm saying. So you can't, it's really, really difficult for me to sit back and, vintage is the best. Modern is crap. They make so much of it. Well, yeah. Well, newsflash, they made a lot of vintage too. Oceans and oceans of vintage. You see it all the time now. Heritage. Look at this find that just came in. Somebody just brought in, 500 different T206s. Look, we've got seven red Cobbs, 3 green Cobbs, etc., etc. Look, we just had this, this Gaudy set, this 33 Gaudy set just walked in. Look, we just got in this 48, 49 Leaf set with 3 extra Jackies in it. So don't act like this stuff is impossible to find. It's just a matter of paying for it. Now, on the modern stuff that the vintage only people poo-poo on, find me a Black Pujols. 2011 Topps, basic Topps, just Topps, flagship is what it's been called now because they make 4 billion different brands. That is a problem. 2011 flagship Black Pujols is numbered to 60. Can't find one. Manufactured scarcity? Okay. Well, where is it? If manufactured scarcity is such a lie, where are these cards? Time goes by, these cards become more difficult to find than any of your vintage Topps cards. I do love my vintage Topps cards, but you're not going to get anyone who's collecting now modern stuff. Everybody starts collecting at their own different level, their own different pace, their own different reasons why. But I can almost guarantee that 99+% of people that start collecting in the first place start collecting the people they see in front of them live on TV or they go to the games. They go to the events. Or they see now, these people, the young people, they see their favorite athletes on social media, and they want to collect them. Why they want to collect them is not the point. Very rarely will you see somebody hop on social media or message boards, hey, I just want to collect old guys I never saw play. You just don't see that. Does it happen? Of course. Nothing is set in stone. But we all get there eventually. You start somewhere. You start seeing what's in front of you live now. Like some 6 or 7-year-old is enamored with Ohtani or Judge. Or they love the Yankees, so they love Judge, and they're 6, 7 years old. And they can't get enough Judge cards. And then they get older, and they want to start going backwards. I know that applied to me when I started in the early 80s. Getting serious about collecting. It was the Goodins, the Mattingleys, the Strawberries, the Clemens, the guys that were, Bird, Magic, Gretzky, Jordan, Montana, etc. Those are the active players that you saw playing. They were in the newspapers back when they used to make newspapers. So you would read about them. And then you start going backwards. But when some people, a significant percentage of the hobby, well, maybe significant is too strong of a word, but when they just, vintage is only vintage. Why are you wasting your money on, trying to think of some of these, Victor Wembanyama, he could snap his leg. Why would you buy his card? His cards. Why would you buy so-and-so? Why would you buy Paul Skeens? He could blow out his arm in practice, tomorrow and never pitch again. Why would you do this? Why would you do that? Pound, 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 pound. It's not getting anywhere. We see it all the time. Social media. Why are you wasting your money on that shit? Buy vintage. Pokemon. Look at Pokemon right now. As we head into the last month of 2025, Pokemon has never been this more popular than it is right now. Never been more popular than it right now. There's the way I like to describe it is that Pokemon right now is where sports cards were in 2021. As far as the wax situation. Like you can go to a Target 4 years ago. 4 years ago, it would be completely wiped out. You could buy Pokemon, but you couldn't buy sports. Now, it's just the opposite. You can buy sports, but you can't find Pokemon. So they're going through that now. And that's a topic for another time. But I wanted to get this out there. It's been weighing on my mind recently. And I figured it's good to get the thoughts out. It's a little bit of a different type of video for me. But it was important. And, you don't have to agree with it, but it's my opinions. These are my opinions. And I respect everyone's opinion, especially those that are making content about it and actually putting themselves out there. Again, that's a whole nother topic for another time. But for now, Backpage is out.